Hello everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Live. How's everybody doing tonight? All right. I hope we're all having an excellent start to the week. What is everybody up to? All right. I'll give everybody a couple minutes to come in, see how things are going. And then we'll get going. This piece. All right. Okie dokie. So we're working today on some more tarot cards. It's been a while. Well, Dan and I finished up the face cards. I still have to send him a message. I think he's on vacation, to be honest. So I won't bug him until he's back. RB and Antoine synchronized their entrance to the chat. Welcome to the stream, everybody. How are we tonight? We're back on the tarot deck tonight. It's been a minute, so we are going to get back into the groove here. Things are good. It's been a busy weekend. I had a market which was very successful. I had the most excellent support system there, which was great. I met a lot of people who were interested in art and my art and their art and all that kind of stuff, which was really great. And I went and updated my shelf at the barn, so that's all ready to go. So, it's been a very busy weekend. I had my parents were down to visit and help me with all that work. So it was an excellent time. Arby's just chilling tonight, taking a break. I like it. We need that now and again. All right. So we are in Adobe Fresco tonight, continuing with the tarot cards. I did my sketches earlier, just using the pencil brushes, and now I'm getting my inking done with the vector brushes. And this card is going to be, I'll highlight my other layers. So this is another tent card. So it's just going to be the content of one of the tents. And the idea of this one is called, it's got paper creatures inside of the tent. So actually, I think I have the actual name of the tent. Oh, I switched my boards. Hang on. Don't quit on me. I'm almost done the tents, actually, which is kind of crazy. The tent itself is called Fearsome Beasts and Strange Creatures, but all of the wonders in papers and mist. So all of the creatures have... all of the creatures are made of paper, so they're all kind of like the like origami and such. Well, it doesn't say that specifically in the book, but then so I was like, how am I going to make animals out of paper? What am I going to do? And then I started Googling and then was humbled by the fact that origami exists, duh. And so I used some origami reference from actual like folded critters, and then oops, I don't want that one to do that. And then also some Firefly exports to have things that kind of look like paper, like they're paper fold outs. But so this isn't actually something you could fold. Maybe you could. It's beyond my paper folding skills at this time. But the idea is that all these critters kind of are made out of paper. Is there any other Fresco, not Adobe? I'm sure there is. Fresco paints, Fresco style of art. I want to make sure I'm being clear, to make sure the viewership isn't confused. So yeah, so the idea here is that these will look like paper creatures. So this one's going to be a bit of a challenge because I think we're not going to really be doing a lot of the necessarily the stained glass kind of breakup look, because all of this is going to be into kind of papery sections to begin with. So this one may be a little different compared to the other ones in how we handle that stained glass approach. But I'm gonna see, because I have the 3 critters right now. I have like a stag, the butterfly, and like a fox. And we so I have the 3 for now, but I want to see how they look when I ink them up first, to see if we need more art or if we need less art, and then what else we can add to it to help the effect along. Fresco art is a completely different pair of boobs. Correct. However, we might have a new to art person on the stream, so I want to be clear. Yeah, so just gonna start off with the line art for the critters we know we're gonna be there, and then we will go from there. See what we need to add, if anything. So maybe some ribbons might help the effect. It's also creatures and mist, paper and mist. So I do want to have kind of a misty effect kind of going in between our layers. So we'll see how this line art comes out first, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay. I knew my sketch was pretty rough, so we'll see how some of these lines come together. I want it to look like folded paper and not just like a geometric figure, so I need to make some of these sections look smaller than the others, like they're folded inside or wrapped around. Like if they're a little bit bigger, they're wrapped around it. So I just want to keep that in mind while I'm building these. So yeah, it's been a busy week. And then the rest of August is already full. Don't know how that happened. And then we're back at it for the fall. It's going to be craziness. We're going on vacation first, and then we'll be back at it for the fall. It's going to be good. So just because it's paper, it's going to follow straight edges. So taking advantage of the fresco feature of just holding the pencil down when I'm finished my line, so that it will straighten out, or curve out in that case. Straighten out so that things are a little more believable as paper. It's also going to be a very unique effect. Like, we're going to take a different approach to the paper patterns potentially here. I don't know if all of one creature should be one paper pattern, or if we can do 2, like a front and a back side maybe. That I kind of like a lot, because then it's not too one note. And then just kind of pretend that it's the back side of the paper that you're seeing on a few of them. I have to figure out where the red's gonna go. Lots to figure out. On or off RB before I out your process. Off. So RB always turns off the line assistant when you work. See, I used to always really get frustrated with smart guides on Illustrator just because like it's a lot of flashing. But that's only because in my early processes for Illustrator, I didn't need those things. Like I didn't need the smart guides. I didn't need things to be matching or aligning or anything, or I didn't think they needed to be actually. So it's a lot of flashing when you don't know what you're looking at. But when you're working on something like a logo or something else, if I need it to be a little more accurate, it helps me to kind of just not have to worry about the lines, to see when things are connected to everything else. So let's clean up for my process afterwards, but everybody's different for sure. Because it depends on also how much, like how busy the interface is. Because if it gets really busy, it gets distracting. RB says, I can make really straight lines or good circles and line corrections not helping at all. That's fair. So yeah, if you're like, there's sometimes where I don't use that kind of snap feature on the illustrations because I don't want it to be a perfect circle, or I want it to be a little bit more scrappy maybe. But in this case, we definitely want the sharp corners because I want it to look like a crisp folded origami piece. So to each piece's own, I think. But yeah, depends on the look you're going for sure. There's a setting in Illustrator to turn off the line flashing or any shape flashing. Oh yeah, you're right. And that's always great. Because it can be really distracting, especially when you have a lot going on your page, because what it'll do, for those of you who aren't in Illustrator, it'll say like, you have a square on your page and then you're drawing another shape. It'll like highlight lines when like a part of your vector is either centered or over a pixel, or some sort of alignment that might be helpful is happening. So it lights up and usually defaults like a very bright pink. At least in my versions it's been that way without me changing the settings. So if you have lots that's on your page, and once you get lots of different elements on your page, it's flashing all the time. So if you're not expecting it or knowing what it's telling you or looking for that assistance, it can be extremely distracting. But I found once I learned a little bit more about what it was teaching me and what it was showing me, for certain cases it's very helpful. But yes, you can turn those off and on in the different, in the settings in Illustrator. Yeah, RB hates the flashing. Yeah, it can get really distracting. If I'm not looking for that kind of support, I agree. Luckily, there's all these customizable settings, so you can make your interface your own. Unless you fall off the wagon. Like at work, I don't use my Adobe, well, I'm in on a program that requires more CAD software, so I haven't been in my Illustrator at the office very recently. So all the settings are kind of like the defaults when they installed it settings, so it's very distracting. I have to spend some time with it and get it up to date. My one at home is all set though. That's the most important one. I work a lot in Katya. Interesting. I have not heard of that, I don't think. No flashing. So this one's going to be maybe rather than stained glass effects, we're going to have a lot of shadows. It's going to be really lending to the effect on this one. So I'm going to make it look like very solidly layered sections. So maybe rather than having as much of a stained glass effect here, we might have a lot more shadows going on that will support the look instead. Just have to make sure that it still falls in line with the rest of the cards. There was also another thing I was thinking of, which I probably should be thinking harder about, was maybe, and I don't know if I want to do it or not, was maybe having the butterfly sit on top of the card a little bit more. You know how we have like the way the cards are set out, they're kind of inset and there's like a shadow so it looks like the border is sitting on top. I kind of wanted the butterfly on top of that, but my concern with doing that is I would have to do that in some more of the cards, because so far everything's been set inside the backgrounds. I'm just wondering when I should start. We have most of the butterfly here. Oops. So I think we can probably, if we want to do that, we can go back and add that in. Because my only concern is the fact that we'd have to have more cards have that happen. And off the top of my head, I can't think of ones that would have that effect. And we want it consistent throughout the different cards in the suits, and we're almost on the tents. So I'll keep percolating on that one. All I'd have to do is add in just the bottom of those tips of that tail there. So we might be okay to just wait and see. Oops. It's nice to get back to the cards. I've kind of had them on a bit of a hiatus for a little bit. I finished 2 this month already. I've just kind of been picking away at them at home by myself, so it's nice to have them back on the stream. Whoops. I want to get some more cards ready because we're getting into Halloween season and I want to get some of these prints out in the universe. So I want to have as many ready to go. And I have kind of an exciting print technique I'm thinking of for them. Kind of age the print a little bit so they kind of look a little more ancient. I'm going to run some tests next week and see. But we'll see how it goes. Do I care that that's different? I don't think I do. I did do one wing and then mirror it for this. I just copied the layer and reflected it. But I don't think they came out quite even anyway, so having the tips of that, the 2 tops of the wings are a little different. I don't think that's a big deal. I'm not going to lose sleep over that. Cool. All right, so I'm going to hide this away for now. This one's going to be very similar to the carousel one we did probably a couple months ago now. And with the 3 figures. But these animals are supposed to kind of just be like around in the tent. So I don't have to have it look like they're necessarily carousel, but I do have to have them look like they're paper. So this guy's going to be... Oh, that's not what I wanted. I need a new layer, silly. So we want to make sure that the paper effect comes through a little bit more here. people know sort of what they're looking at, even though it's not real origami creatures. It has to have that effect. Oops. No? And then. So how was everybody's weekend? Told you about my busy one. It seems like almost everyone at work is away or on vacation, which feels like a weird week for it. It's not like a long weekend or anything. But I paid for a quiet office to get some work done today, so I'm not complaining. So you see what I mean already? This is already pretty busy with lots of geometric shapes. So I'm not 1000% certain I'm going to have a need for the same stained glass effect that we're used to doing. Oh. But again, we'll just wait and see. Each card has its own little personality here, so we'll see what it comes up with. Let's do this one first. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Straight line. So many little overlappy lines. Ow, don't hit the thing. No, some of these images were kind of like tracing over folds on photos of different shapes and things. So now I'm just trying to make sure that when I do draw them out, they make sense. So we're going to be kind of like, the sketch was edited from the reference, and now this is being edited from the sketch. Just to make sure that it's clear what we're looking at, because I feel like this guy's got lots of shapes. We probably don't need them all. Yeah, there's definitely too many shapes kind of around the eye, like you can't even really see what's happening there. And these are kind of like, she said, pointing at the screen where no one can see. These are supposed to be kind of like intended almost like like a bunch of folds that look like whiskers, but they kind of feel small right now. I kind of wonder if I can make it bigger. And then we transform. Let's see if we can make more of a whiskery effect. So all I did there was just lasso my pen layer. I made that section a little bigger. I think I'm gonna do this. And then this. And like this. Okay, I was gonna not put this one in, but I think they're just a little too straight and square, so I will put this one in because it was gonna take over the chin that was being drawn in here, but I think angling it up like that will help a little bit. Go. Let's see how we're looking without the sketch here. Okay, I think some color is going to help the nose a little bit. Don't want to lean on that too much, but I think that's going to help. If I'm able to make these individual enough, these would actually make really good stickers. So kind of a thought, if I complete them all on their own, it's something I'm kind of considering as well as I build these cards, things that could be used as a sticker or kind of elements of something that could be used in something else later on. That's why I'm very serious about my layers right now, so that I can pluck something out, like just get the butterfly or just get the fox, and then put it in as a sticker on its own or something like that. So keeping that in mind while I build these. It will, if I can. It's hard to think of everything all at once, but if I do consider it, it makes the job a little bit easier as we go through. Alessandra's in the chat. Welcome to the stream. How are we doing tonight? Sorry. Forgot today is Monday. Oh dear. Well, as long as you went to work, that's fine. Yeah. Depends on how you forgot it was sometimes. I was pretty adamant that it was like a Friday when it was like a Wednesday last week or the week before. Always a disappointment. How were your streams this weekend? I hope they went well. I saw some of the pictures of what you were drawing. Amazing. This is like an eyebrow, but I'll make it a little bigger so it gets that drama across. Alessandra asks what I'm working on. We are on the next tarot card. So this is the Nine of Wands. And it's going to be our next tent, which is full of paper creatures. So they're supposed to look like folded papers when we're done. That is the goal. So it's a little geometric right now, but I'm kind of hoping the shadows are going to really lean in a little bit and get the effect we're going for here. Vector brushes in fresco. Oh, what's happening? There we go. It's too warm. The iPad doesn't know which source to take. Your streams were good this weekend, Alessandra? Okay, so that does... Just trying to think of where to go next. What's overlapping what? Challenge to make fake folded paper animals. Okay. So I know for sure this will be on top. I don't think I have this fully sketched out, but it's kind of like a fan. I seem to have just done half of that. So, right now it's all together. Okay, so this goes like this, I think. Oops. impromptu kind of crown on his head here. Super fun. Like a fox, so Mr. Mojo's kind of making his own appearance here, which is super fun. He's all asleep right now. So exhausting having company visit. Poor guy. It's kind of a weird shape. It's kind of not oriented right, I don't think. Are we on the right there? Incoming Mojo bark, hang on. I think that's a little better. I'm gonna clean up all those lines now. Oops. I was just lying a little flat for the way the shape was, so I want to make sure now, while it's early, that it's not too awkward, because otherwise, once we add the color and everything, it'll be a little more awkward and much more challenging to clean up. I love how easy the vectors are to clean up too. Makes life so much easier. So I think this would be good Lord. The other eyebrow. I'm going to imitate that on this side too. So that's kind of like a lesson to learn when you're using AI images. Because I use some Firefly to support this. But it's not super symmetrical or anything when you're doing that build. So you have to use some of your artistic license to make sure that things look the way you want them to, not just blindly following the AI chaos. Everybody's so quiet today. Exhausted weekend. Okay. So to make that, we need an eye. Like that, I think. Oh no, not like that though. Okay. Which means our eye will go like this. And then Okay, kind of believing that that's the same face. That's good, that's good. And I feel like I have too many lines here. Like this is too busy, so I might just kind of collapse some of these into smaller. Into not smaller, but fewer shapes, because I don't, these are going to be pretty small in the end and I don't want it to be too cluttered. Just enough to have the effect come across, I think. Would be good. Oh, that's not what I wanted to turn off, silly. Excuse me. Okay. Now, what are these lines that I built here? What is this? Because I moved that crown, some of my sketches shifted. I just can't remember what my goal was with this section here. If I do more, no thank you. I think if we play with them to be like this. Get rid of this line here. This line's here, and then have this be like this. Are you ready for your market, Alessandra? It's coming up, no? Oops, oh dear, oh dear. All right. I should do. Oh, it's kind of doing its job. I was going to say, usually there's a little tufts like before the ears, but I think we've got a lot of lines already that we got to be careful not to put too many in. Oh dear. Oops. Too aggressive. Oops. Yikes. Oops. Oops. Okay. Save. Okay. Don't get too far down and forget to clean up all these messy lines. No, or get too aggressive and clean them all up too aggressively. This looks great. Thanks, Alessandra. Coming together. Good job, Bug. Oh dear, aggressive. All right. Yeah, this would make a pretty awesome sticker. Would use. And I haven't even colored it yet. It's gonna be good. Sweet. Do we believe that this is a fox made of paper? Alright, so saved. I'm going to turn this one on. Excuse me. Alright, let's turn this guy off. Add another layer. Now, I'm debating. Because I feel like if we turn the other two on, they're going to take up the right amount of space on the card. I just feel like there's a point where future me would be upset if I don't draw the whole stag on its own. You know, when I have the line art, I can always go back and complete it. So let's work on it for the card for now. And then we can always come back and complete this. That's the best part about vector art, is there's so much room for versatility. So I think there's a single point where I can make myself a little bit crazy doing full shapes, because I know each card will now have different elements that I would then piece together, and we will be here for many, many years finishing the deck. Whole lot of lining going on. You are correct, sir. So I think I will keep working this way, but I think if I got too far into making each element complete on its own, I might go down a path that would be challenging to get back from. Although it might help me a little bit in the future, like having like if I did each of these little guys by themselves, the stag, then the fox, and then the butterfly, I could do them all by themselves and then bring them in and piece them together, but then I wouldn't have that same cohesive unit, because potentially when I bring them in, I'd be scaling them, so all the strokes would be off. So I think I'm still confident in the process I'm following here. I can then go back and check and finish some of these off, and or make them into a sticker later on if I want to. Like I know I went in and took the teenager the teenager like lion out, and I kind of completed him a little bit more to have a sticker type element to it, so it wasn't too challenging to do that, just a little bit more extra work. This is one tough origami fold. Yes, that will be the next stream. We'll be figuring out how to fold this. So yeah, I think I'm feeling confident in my current approach here. I'm not feeling confident in how not horizontal those lines are though. Because if I want to complete the stag, or if I want to complete the butterfly or anything for another piece, I think I have a good head start, but that's something I could definitely do later on. Even in Photoshop too, like if I just wanted to give something a more finished edge rather than kind of going right off the page, Photoshop can also help me with that. This process that I'm doing right now guarantees a little bit more of a cohesive unit to the card itself. That would save me redrawing lines and all that kind of fun stuff that I absolutely don't want to do. Updating strokes and things like that. It's just more work for the cards themselves, and they're the #1 focus. So don't get distracted. Okay. Oh my goodness. Mr. DTM himself. What's up, Dan? We're doing more tarot cards. How's your summer treating ya? Just inside the nose on this one. And just inside the nose on this one. Oh no. Very busy in a good way. I haven't been able to stream lately. Well, if we've been missing the streams, but I see how summer is extremely busy, so that's important too. So that's good. It's good to be busy, especially in a good way. Don't want to be too chaotic. That is excellent news. Oops. Yeah, I was looking at the calendar just the other day and I realized that August was already full and we haven't even started August yet. Not really sure how that happened, but here we are. But again, busy in a good way. It's going to be some vacation and some market stuff and hopefully just some time at home a bit. It's a good time. Paint some more tarot cards here. So let's zoom out with what we've got so far. So if I hide this guy, and then we have this guy, and we have this guy. So the idea is they're going to be like origami characters on the card, because this is a tent that is full of paper creatures. Actually, I had the title. It's called Fearsome Beasts and Strange Creatures, Wonders in Paper and Mist. If that doesn't inspire a whole pile of art, just that title alone, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say. Just trying to simplify some of my sketch here. Now there's some potential with the eye. If I could do something like that, and then boop. Oh no. Is it a paper stack or paper stay, I wonder? It'll be a very elaborate fold. If anybody can figure it out, that would be awesome. It's all an illusion. An illusion. There's actually a tent called The Feats of Illustrious Illusion, and I haven't started it or conceptualized it yet because there's a lot of fancy illusions I could draw, and I have to pick one or two. Oh, that's not how I want that. Like this? Oh no! I got too aggressive. Calm down. What did I do? We will allow the oddness here. I think it's not going to stand out as much as I think it will. But those are not entirely the similar lines. But that's okay. That's okay. Oh no. Come on, Aaron. Get it together. Going through the list for the card deck today, actually. Oh, well, now I've done something silly. Okay, hang on. And there's a few cards that are still a little elusive for what we're going to draw, so there's still lots of work to do. We're not on the home stretch just yet, but we are making excellent progress. I'm not sure if that's right. They're not very even, but I also think we're doing okay. There might be enough lines that the lack of evenness might not be clear. Yeesh. Oh my gosh, it's already after 8. What the heck am I doing here? Okay, hang on. So we'll do this, and we'll do this. Yikes. You're having fun. I am. It is nice when you get sucked into the piece that little bit. You know you're doing something exciting when that's the case. Man, this snap tool in Fresco is a lifesaver. This would be an extremely challenging piece. This probably actually would have been done in Illustrator if I didn't have that snap tool, to be honest. Okay. All those little lines lining up. Okay, this is actually going to work out really nicely. Oh, let's try that again. Oh, up to the eyeball here. Before we go too deep into this. Okay, now I think we will like complete these shapes to a degree. Alright, and this one. This one. This one. I just want to have it look like a kind of finished edge on the end, because like if it was a paper origami piece, it wouldn't just kind of float off on the edge. It would have the folds and everything that would complete it. So I want to make sure that we have that kind of look. Let me clean this up. actually. Then we'll do this. Oops. Like that, okay. Perfect. Eep. Oh. Just a little bit there. And then a little bit off this one because they're not quite touching. This one either. A lot of these, like any little rough corners and things, once we start throwing the very aggressive shadows in, I think we're gonna hide a lot of those, so I'm not gonna lose too much sleep over them right now. And then let's throw in the last little bit of the ears and antlers here. The really big ears, and then these are kind of like horns almost, like pre-antler antlers. Oh gosh, some cleanup that got missed. Yikes. Let's get those while we see them, because we probably won't see them. I probably won't see those again until it's time to color, forcing me to redo my reference lines. It's usually when I find a missing piece. But that's okay. All part of the process. Good boy. Just leave them be. We're almost done here, buddy. Good job. Oh dear. Bedtime protest. That child is not being murdered or anything. Good job, bud. They want to be arting too. I actually set up one of my coloring books at the booth so this weekend when I had my market, so kids or anybody, adults, anybody who wanted to stop by and color for a bit. It was pretty popular. People really liked it. So I will be doing that again. Everybody likes to sit and color. Heck, I even stopped and colored for a bit. It's my favorite thing. We'll try that again. Let's just try that again. Alexander says, yeah, a lot of us are always on the run. I don't have time to stop and color. I know, so sad. So that's what I'm thinking this year for Christmas. I'm going to make a tiny coloring book, like a little 5x7, so that you can have it in your pocket like a little sketchbook, so that you'll always have something to color on you all the time. Herbie says, run and color. Ellie, go do it right now. Quick, while we're thinking about it. Let's all get our coloring books. It's one of those things you kind of forget to do, but it's so fun when you do it. Oh dear. Too aggressive with the line cleanup. Why it'll be this way. Just a little bit. There it is. I knew it was possible. I knew it was there. Okay. Almost done, guys. A lot of the shapes are going to come out here in the color as well. I said earlier in the stream I'm probably going to not have as much stained glass direct approach on this one because there's so many shapes in these, but I think I might kind of have each figure have its own set of paper patterns, so it will kind of look like the front and the back of the page. So we'll see how far that effect can go for us for these critters. Oops, one more. And then this. Do I have it go across like that? Yeah, sure, why not? No, I changed my mind immediately. Because the other one isn't like a prism type shape, I won't make this one like that. So I think that would create kind of a tension for viewing, and I don't want that. I don't want it to draw too much attention. If I had done that on the other side, I probably would have left it, but I didn't. Ooh, looking good. Spooky. I like it. Oh yeah, we'll be doing more of that guy for sure. That's freaking awesome. I love it so much. Okay, so we'll turn that guy on and that guy on. Can you see it? Can you see the effect I'm going for? Okay, so obviously the next round will be cleaning up some of these layers and getting the hierarchy in, and then start getting some paper patterns all in here to get it all sorted out. So lots of work still left to do on this one. But we're gonna just let it go for tonight, I think. I hope you guys are all having a... Hang on, something's weird. My chat just froze. Okay, well I hope you can all still hear me. So yeah, so I think that's good for now. I'm gonna go back and work on it and check out a little bit more. Dan says, good job, Erin. Thank you for sharing. Oh, we hear you. Perfect. Excellent. So thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. Thanks to RB, Antoine's here, Alessandra came, Dan was here, and anybody else who might be lurking in the background. I do appreciate you guys coming on and hanging out with me. I will be here again next Monday, same time and channel. And I hope you all have a fantastic week. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.